Hey, it's Alan Berg. Before we get into this episode, I'm starting something called Ask Me Anything. That's right. You submit your questions and they could become an entire episode or something that I answer at the end of an episode. To submit your questions, look for the red button at podcast.alanberg.com. That's right, podcast.alanberg.com. Click on the red button, submit your question, and maybe you'll hear it here on the podcast. Thanks. You've gotten this far. Now finish it. Welcome to another episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. I'm your host, Alan Berg. I'm a speaker, author, sales trainer, website reviewer, and I help businesses like yours sell more, profit more, and have more fun doing it. Enjoy this episode. Hi, it's Alan Berg. Welcome back to another episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. This is another, not a listener suggestion, but something that came from people that have been listening to the podcast, and I've been out doing sales training at their businesses, and also from the other sales trainings that I do. And it's a very common thing in our industry. I'm sure it's very common actually across many industries, where the salespeople are really good at knowing the product. They're really good at connecting with the customer. They're asking good questions and they're finding out the needs, because if you've heard me talk about anything, we sell results. We don't sell products and services, no matter what it is you do. It's just not just a wedding and event industry thing. But what's very common is that you get them to the 1 yard line, using a football metaphor over here, right? You get them to the 1 yard line and then you can't finish it. You don't ask for the sale. And I've heard this time and time and time again. And some people, back like when I was vice president of sales at the Knot, I had some people I moved from sales to customer service because they were so good at everything except closing the deal. Good with the customers, knowing the product, very personable. People like them, but they just weren't necessarily closers. Just had a client recently that had to let the salesperson go because they did everything except close the deal. And now they're closing literally 8 to 10 times more than the other person did because they're doing it and asking for the sale. So are you doing the same thing? Are you having trouble getting people to commit? And you're wondering, what is the problem? And is it the fact that you answer their inquiries well, you ask them good questions, you get them to the meeting, the call, the Zoom, the in-person meeting, whatever it is, but they're not closing, they're not buying? The problem could actually be the fact that you're not asking for the sale. You're not taking that last step, which is you get them interested, you find out their needs, you talk to them about what you can do for them and the results that only your company can do. They like you, they like the company, and you're waiting for them to say yes. And that's not the way it works. And if a lot of people are saying we need to think about it, or we have other places to see and things like that, it doesn't mean they won't buy today. If you've read my books, if you've heard me here, if you've seen me speak, if you've done private or group sales training with me, you know that it's up to you to finish that. And objections, which I've talked about on other podcasts here and also in the books, objections are just a kind of a yes, but here's something else, such as we have other people to see. Well, they might just feel obligated to that, as opposed to they really need to someone else because they like you. They want to buy from you, but you're not asking for the sale. They need your guidance in weddings and events, especially, or if you're selling anything where someone doesn't have history understanding how to buy what it is that you do. It's very possible that they're waiting for you to say, should we move forward and give you the kind of results that we've already spoken about? You know, simplifying it is, if you repeat back to them what they say they want in terms of results and say, did I get that right? Yes. Is there anything you're still looking for that we haven't talked about? No. Well, then should we go ahead and just make that happen? It's as simple as that, just asking for the sale after you've told them that you've been listening and you can give them the kind of results that they want. It's up to you to take that next step and ask for the sale. So you've gotten them this far. It's up to you to finish it. It's not up to them. And if you want more tips on how to ask for the sale, there's plenty more podcasts in here about that. Plenty more in my book, Shut Up and Sell More, Stop Selling and Help Them Buy, Wisdom in the Business of Weddings. It's in all of them because it's a basic to what I talk about. Basic to sales is it's up to you, the salesperson, even if you don't identify as a salesperson, whatever it is that you do, if you're the one that's sitting with a client, with a couple, with a company, you have to ask for the privilege of finishing this, which is getting to the point where actually you get to do what you talked about with them. So You've gotten them this far. Now finish it. Hope it gives you some ideas. Thanks. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wedding Business Solutions podcast. If you liked it, please subscribe to this channel and post a review on your chosen platform, Apple Podcasts or whichever one. If you have any questions about anything in this episode or any of my episodes, email me directly at alan@weddingbusinesssolutions.com or visit my website, alanberg.com, alanberg.com. If you have any suggestions for future topics or guests that you'd like to see, please again, email me or visit my website. Thanks for listening.